A very good morning. Just past 10 by the clock. We are back again with another edition of News on the Hour. This is your one-stop show for all that matters in the world of news, be it politics, business, sports, entertainment. A big look on the COVID-19 battle in India and the vaccination drive that's picking up pace. Also a look at India's challenge at the Tokyo Olympics and lots more to look forward to in the next 60 minutes. I am Anil Thomas. Let's get started with the top stories. India to take over presidency of UN Security Council today. Maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism to be the key focus areas during presidency. Nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive continues. Over 47 crore vaccine doses administered across the country. More than 60,50,000 vaccine doses administered in the last 24 hours. Centre takes stock of the COVID-19 situation in 10 states, reporting increased daily infections. Alert states to enforce stricter restrictions in districts reporting more than 10% of the new cases. Surge in COVID-19 cases situation in Kerala worrisome as it reports more than 20,000 new daily cases. Muslim Women Rights Day being observed today to mark the occasion of enactment of the law against triple talaq. Minority Affairs Minister asserts that government is committed to strengthening self-reliance, self-respect and self-confidence of the Muslim women in the country. In Olympics, Satish Kumar loses to Uzbekistan. Bakhtarov Jalolov in the men's super heavyweight quarter-final. Sindhu to fight for a bronze medal match later today, while men's hockey team to take on Great Britain in the quarterfinals. Well, those were the headlines at the top of this hour. Now for the stories in detail, starting first up with India getting UNSC presidency for a month, and India will take over the presidency of the United Nations Security Council for the month of August. During its presidency, India would focus on three major themes of maritime security, peacekeeping and counterterrorism, and will hold signature events to highlight these issues. This is the 8th time India will be assuming the presidency of the Security Council, the last time being November 2012.
Come Sunday, the 1st of August, and India will take over the prestigious office of the President of the UN Security Council. Listing out the priorities of India during the month-long presidency, India's envoy to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurti, said maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism would be the key themes India would focus on during its presidency.
India will be the President of the United Nations Security Council in August. It is a singular honor for us to be presiding over the Security Council in the same month when we are celebrating our 75th Independence Day. This is our 8th tenure in the Security Council. In the last 7 months of our tenure in the Council, we have taken a principled and forward-looking position on various issues. We have been unafraid of shouldering responsibilities. We have been proactive. We have focused on issues of our priority. We have made efforts to bridge the different voices within the Council to ensure that the Council comes together and speaks in one voice on a variety of important issues of the day. This is what we will bring into our presidency.
In a video message, Tirumurti said to highlight these issues, India would organize a number of signature events around these themes.
India will be organizing signature events in three major areas: maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism. Maritime security has a high priority for us, and it is important for the Security Council to take a holistic approach to this issue. Peacekeeping is a topic close to our hearts given our own long and pioneering involvement with peacekeeping. We will be focusing on how to ensure the safety of peacekeepers especially by using better technology, and how to bring perpetrators of crimes against peacekeepers to justice. We will continue to keep the spotlight on counter-terrorism. I would like to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and our External Affairs Minister for continuing to guide our permanent mission, especially during our stint in the Security Council.
The presidency of the Security Council is held by rotation by the 15 members of the UNSC. India has been the president of the body in June 1950, September 1967, December 1972, October 1977, February 1985, October 1991, December 1992, August 2011 and November 2012. As the president of the top UN body, India will decide the agenda for the month and coordinate important meetings and other related issues. India is a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council since January this year for a period of 2 years. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurthy, called on Foreign Minister of Iraq, Dr. Fawad Hussain. The Indian ambassador in a tweet said, delighted to call on Foreign Minister of Iraq, discuss the forthcoming UN Security Council meeting of the United Nations Assistance Mission for Iraq during India's presidency of UNSC. As India takes over the presidency of the United Nations Security Council today, several greetings have started pouring in. Russian ambassador to India, Nikolai Kudashev, has tweeted, and I quote him, "Congratulations on India taking over UNSC presidency. Truly impressed with the agenda, which embraces pressing global issues including maritime security, peacekeeping and counterterrorism. Expecting fruitful and effective work, wishing many happy returns and all the success." The ambassador of France to India, Emmanuel Lenin, also extended greetings, and I quote him, "Delighted that India is today taking over UNSC presidency from France. We are committed to working with India on strategic issues as maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism, and upholding a rules-based multilateral system to face today's many ongoing crises." But for more on the story, we've got Meghna standing by to give us an update. Meghna, good morning. Welcome to News on the Hour. Looking at this development, especially with India taking over the UNSC, though it comes by rotation, but it comes at a significant time when India is all set to celebrate its 75th year of independence.
Absolutely, Anil, you actually mentioned it right in the sense that it is, as Ambassador T.S. Tirumurthy also highlighted that it is an honor for India, and especially when India is taking over the presidency at this juncture when India is celebrating the 75th year of independence, putting forward the major three signature agendas, key priority focus areas, which will be obviously counter-terrorism. We have peacekeeping as well as maritime cooperation. Now, extremely important is when we talk about the counter-terrorism, India has always maintained its stand that it condemns terrorism in its all forms and manifestations. So it will be very important to see that how India puts it on, the program schedule of the UNSC, what will be, the major regions of focus and what will be the major, what will be the content of focus when we talk about international terrorism, and how effectively, the debates and the participations can be, managed, and the high-level meeting segments can also be, included for the same. When we also talk about peacekeeping, obviously it has been one of the very important priority agendas for India. And when we know that, India has one of the largest troops for UN peacekeeping in, several countries. So that obviously makes it more important because, security for peacekeepers is something that will be laid more emphasis upon that, the people who are working for peacekeeping, their protection, their security, how can it be assured? And earlier when we had seen, a couple of weeks ago also, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla had reiterated and emphasized on the fact that humanitarian crisis, has been prevalent but has increased more during the COVID situation. So definitely we will be expecting that something, some segments on the COVID situation and the humanitarian crisis that is arising because of it can also be a point of discussion. So tomorrow, which will be the first working day, that is Monday, 2nd of August, And tomorrow, if we calculate about Indian Standard Time, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurti will be addressing a presser in which he will be actually laying forward the entire program for the month, which will be extremely crucial and important, and people are looking forward to it.
Also, does this present a great opportunity for India to take forward Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of 5S that he's been stressing on, especially on international forum?
Undoubtedly, yes, this is something that India had listed out in its priorities, when it took over, when it came back into the UNSC for its 2-year term. Samvad, we have Samriddhi, we have Shanti, we have Samman. So, the 5S approach of India will definitely, be encashed, or, the priority areas. So, the theme, if we can say that, all the priority areas will be on basic theme of the 5S approach. Also, multilateral reforms will be something that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been laying emphasis upon. So, that can also, be more prominently featured in the, program agenda. How to move towards multilateral reforms, especially in the post-COVID era, when it is very crucial and very much required. So definitely India had already put out its plan according to set its priorities when it had come into the UNSC for its 2-year term. And not only this is going to set the momentum for when because it is an all alphabetical rotation, Anil, as we know. So, we can also get another presidency probably later next year, which would be around the month of November or December. 31st December 2022 will be the last of India's 2-year term of this, 2-year tenure of this stint, the 8th stint at the UNSC. So definitely we can see, another stint also. So this stint will be extremely crucial and important, which can, set the stone for the next stint, or probably can leave an imprint on what work India has done during its presidency in the UNSC.
Okay, considering the fact that this particular role or this particular time of the presidency has also come at a time when, the world is battling the COVID crisis. And, when you say about COVID crisis, especially, presenting a roadmap, for the road ahead. Do you think India can actually have a blueprint here for the world to emulate, for a world to follow?
Undoubtedly, why not? This is something, because we have seen, according to the changing times, the content of the UNSC has also evolved, if I can put it that way, Anil. We have also seen, when we were earlier into peacekeeping, counterterrorism and those sectors, now it has evolved more. Counterterrorism has, expanded more into countering even cyber security, cyber threats. It has also expanded into getting into the technological domain of, the threats that we perceive today. So, and also when we talk about, enabling our peacekeepers, it is also something to do with technology. And when currently we are combating a pandemic, we are fighting against a pandemic, this has become an extremely crucial and important point of discussion. And it is definitely going to be at the UNSC as well. And India can definitely show its way because, because of India's manufacturing capacity, because of India's vaccine maitri with, India has built its vaccine maitri with several nations across. So it will definitely be very crucial to actually understand, how India balances the kind of crisis that is going across the world. And when we talk about several countries battling the COVID crisis, this is going to be extremely crucial. And we will have to see tomorrow at 10 p.m. around, the program agenda will be out, which people are looking forward for, which will actually decide the entire discourse of the month that India will be presiding over.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us, Meghna, this morning, giving us an insight, especially into India taking over the presidency for a month, especially at the UNSC. And we look forward to more updates from you on that particular story. Well, shifting focus now to that COVID-19 battle that India is facing along with the world. Let's now take a look at an update on COVID-19 in the country. The total number of recovered patients stand at 3,820,521. 39,258 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours. The total recoveries, as I mentioned, 3,820,000 over the number. The recovery rate currently in India at 97.36%. India has reported 41,831 daily new cases in the last 24 hours. And India's active caseload currently stands at 4,10,952, which is roughly around 1.3% of the total positive cases in our country. The weekly positivity rate remains below 5% at 2.42%, and the daily positivity rate also remains below 5% at 2.34%. With substantially ramped up testing capacity across the country, over 46 crore 82 lakh tests have been conducted so far in India. Meanwhile, in a significant achievement, India's cumulative COVID vaccination coverage has surpassed 47 crore mark. A total of 47 crores 2,98,596 vaccine doses administered in India so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Over 60,15,842 vaccines doses being administered in the last 24 hours, and over 16 crore 37 lakh vaccine doses across 37 states and union territories in the age group of 18 to 44 years. Well, the COVID-19 situation is under control across the country, but southern state of Kerala has become a cause of concern as the state is reporting more than 20,000 daily new cases, which is roughly 50% of the total cases being reported in the country. Amid the surge of COVID-19 cases in the state, a complete weekend lockdown is being observed across Kerala. Well, for more on the story, we've got Ajay Joy joining us from Thiruvananthapuram on the phone line. Ajay, good morning. Welcome to News on the Hour. Looking at the way, at this point of time, the way things stand, do you somewhere feel that the weekend lockdown is going to, be a big help, especially when it comes to bringing down the numbers?
Anil, weekend lockdown has been a feature for many months altogether.
Okay.
And right now, there are some introspection regarding whether the same situation should continue or not, or rather more targeted approach should be there. It is understood that the lockdown strategies may see a revision next week. After the reports and hints being dropped, they may go ahead with removing weekend lockdown as a whole for the whole state.
Okay.
Rather, strict measures will be adopted in the specific containment areas. So focus will be more on the micro level management rather than dealing at the macro level.
Okay.
This is what feelers that have been sent by the administration in the interactions.
Okay.
So even the central team which visited, or rather continuing its visit in Kerala, they have also been advising the same regarding targeting at the micro level, where the real containment should be put in and the preventive measures are to be taken, the cluster zones are to be identified. So in this line, the state administration and the health authorities may further go ahead.
Okay, considering the fact that there is a 6-member team from the center that's been sent to take care of the states divided in two parts, taking care of north as well as southern part of Kerala, how has been, we did hear a report from Alappuzha yesterday, but what's been the update, especially when it comes to the other half of Kerala, the southern part of Kerala?
Yesterday, the team had visited one of the most affected districts, Malappuram. There, the team actually stuck to the basics of COVID management. They wanted more surveillance in terms of identifying the frontline people, where the infection risk is more, and especially they advised to mobilize the rapid response team volunteers in terms of the tests to be conducted and all. And they also pointed to the same fact of controlling the infection at the house level. Because a scene has emerged in Kerala whereby the source of infection is within the household. So identifying the people at the correct time and getting them isolated. And the team has asserted once again that the adequate measures must be taken to isolate them. If they don't have enough facility for home isolation, get them to institutional quarantine. This is what the team has underlined yesterday in its meeting. And today, the Northern team is having its visit in Calicut, which is progressing right now. There also it's understood that the team is sticking on to the same time-tested strategies. Getting the test more, getting the people isolated, and then getting the contact tracing more efficient. So the contact tracing part, the state has gone down a little bit considering the large number of infections. Now the state will have to go ahead and intensify its contact tracing mechanism through which it attains magnificent success in the first stage of COVID infection in Kerala.
Okay, and also looking at the fact that, do you somewhere feel that this is an admission that, Kerala is still not free from the second wave, while most of the other states have been slowly able to buck the trend, but Kerala is still reeling under that second wave of COVID-19?
It's still because unless we say that the TPRs are going down, unless we say that the R factor is below 1, we can't say the wave is out anymore.
Okay.
Even now, despite plateauing at 10, it is slowly showing an upward trend towards 12 and 13 in terms of TPR. So Kerala is yet to emerge from the second wave, that's for sure. There are more people who are yet susceptible. But the silver line here would be the rate of vaccination in Kerala. And this is what Kerala administration is hoping on to. Till yesterday, they have ensured that more than 40% of the population is vaccinated at least with 1 dose. And 17.23% population is fully vaccinated with 2 doses. And Kerala has demonstrated that it has the capacity to vaccinate minimum 4 lakh people per day. If the vaccines are available. So the administration is hoping that as more vaccines comes in, they will be able to rein in the infection in a better manner. As you know, in serosurveillance rate, in terms of the antibodies found, Kerala is at 40%. That means 60% is still susceptible. And controlling that situation, the administration is hoping that they will be able to manage this wave far better.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us. Ajoy Joy on the phone line from Thiruvananthapuram, giving us an update, especially when it comes to the worrisome situation in the southern state of Kerala against the COVID battle. Well, moving on now, the union government has meanwhile cautioned the states where the rate of new infections is surging rapidly. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan chaired a high-level meeting on Saturday to review the COVID-19 situation in 10 states. These states are Kerala, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Assam, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh and Manipur. Union Secretary for Health and Family Welfare underlined 5 critical points in controlling and management of COVID infections. These include strict restrictions in all districts reporting positivity rate more than 10%, effectively and strictly monitoring home isolations, facilitate hospitalization and timely clinical treatment, focus on those districts where the positivity rate is less than 10%. Union government is supporting states by providing oxygen concentrators, oxygen cylinders and PSA plants. Apart from this, the Union Health Minister informed in a tweet that the central government has credited 15% of the total amount of emergency COVID response package, a total of 1827.80 crores to the states and union territories. This package will prove hopeful in the development of health infrastructure across the country. Moving on, the nation's mega vaccination drive continues to gain a lot of traction. Dr. Soumitra Rawat, a member of the Supreme Court appointed National Task Force and head of Surgical Department and the Liver Transplant Department in the Sir Gangaram Hospital, contends when 70% of the population gets vaccinated, herd immunity can be achieved. He further added that all available vaccines have great efficacy over SARS-CoV-2 mutant as well. Here's a quick excerpt.
Whenever your turn comes for vaccine, have it. That's number one. There is nothing about having a choice for the vaccine. All the vaccines are very good. so that, don't say that I want to have this vaccine and I will only have when this vaccine becomes available. Number 3 is, as government has given it in Supreme Court that, all the population above 18 years will get vaccinated by December. And when we have 70% of population vaccinated, we will get a herd immunity.
Well, you can watch that entire show on Doctor's Chat special COVID series tonight on DD India at 8 p.m. Well, moving on, the first Zika virus infection case in the western state of Maharashtra has been reported from Pune district. A statement from the state government appealed people not to panic. The woman patient who was diagnosed with the infection has recovered completely, the state health department has said. The statement also said that she and her family members do not have any symptoms. The 50-year-old woman, a resident of Belsar village in Purandar Tehsil, received her test report on Friday. The report said that besides Zika infection, she was also infected by chikungunya. A government medical team visited the village on Saturday and met the Sarpanch and Gram Panchayat members and instructed them about preventive measures. Well, time now for us to head into a short breather here on News on the Hour. Lots more stories from international as well as Tokyo Olympics on the other side. Stay tuned.
Your window to rising India. India's voice on global platforms. Latest news from India and around the world. In-depth analysis of global headlines. Watch DD India in your country. Available for downlink in all Southeast Asian countries. STTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 17 at 93.5 degrees east. HDTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 10 at 83 degrees east. For technical details, scan here. Switch to DD India now. With the world's largest COVID vaccination drive, India is leading the way. As the vaccine reaches every corner of the nation, do not forget the mantra, Dawai bhi, Kadai bhi. Let's continue our fight against COVID-19. Vaccination along with social distancing, sanitization and masks.
Mask up, India!
Put your mask on and cover your nose and be safe.
Mask Up India. As the day unfolds and news and events take shape, we get you complete coverage of every news breaking in, tracking new developments as they happen. Midday Prime English, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. on DD India.
Welcome back to News on the Hour. Now, staying with India stories, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is visiting Uttar Pradesh today to launch various development projects. The Union Home Minister will lay the foundation stone of the Uttar Pradesh Institute of Forensic Sciences, UPIFS, in Lucknow. When the institute is ready, it will act as a resource center in the field of forensic science, behavioral science, civil and criminal law by becoming a pool of trained manpower. The institute will also work to train forensic scientists working in forensic labs and police personnel by developing professional skills for scientific investigations of cases of complex crimes. A center of excellence for D&T will also be established in this institute in collaboration with the National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar.
फॉरेंसिक लैब ये फर्स्ट फॉरेंसिक साइंस इंस्टीट्यूट पहली बार बन रहा है। आदरणीय गृह मंत्री जी इसका शिलान्यास कर रहे हैं। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने लगातार पिछले 2-3 सालों में 4 सालों में हम लोगों को फॉरेंसिक के पूरा जो सेक्टर है उसको मजबूत करने के लिए निर्देश दिए हैं। माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने चाहा था कि इस इंस्टीट्यूट को जल्दी से जल्दी हम लोग टेकअप करें और जो नेशनल फॉरेंसिक यूनिवर्सिटी है उससे इसको एफिलिएट कराएं। हमारी तैयारी पूरी हो गई है। इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए जो कार्रवाई आवश्यक थी वो सभी पूरा हो गया और भारत सरकार के गृह मंत्रालय के सहयोग से हम लोग काफ़ी चीज़ें इसमें बहुत अच्छा करेंगे। यहाँ पर जो है डीएनए का एक एडवांस रिसर्च सेंटर भी होगा जो आगे चीज़ों को ले जाएगा।
But the Union Home Minister will also lay the foundation stone of the 150 crore Vindhyachal Corridor project in Mirzapur. The project will result in the creation of space for 50 feet wide parikrama route, while visitors will get a full view of the holy shrine known as one of the Shakti Peeths. He will also inaugurate the first ropeway of the eastern Uttar Pradesh for thousands of pilgrims and tourists who flock to Ashtabhuja or Kalikho hills of the holy triangle of Vindhyachal. Foundation stones of various other projects will also be laid on the occasion. Well, Muslim Women Rights Day is being observed across the country today to celebrate the enactment of the law against triple talaq. The government enacted the law against triple talaq on the 1st of August 2019, which was made the social malpractice of triple talaq a criminal offence. Muslim women across the country have overwhelmingly welcomed this law. Minister for Minority Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi in a tweet said the government has strengthened self-reliance, self-respect and self-confidence of the Muslim women of the country and protected their constitutional, fundamental and democratic rights by bringing the law against triple talaq. The Minority Affairs Minister, along with the Minister for Women and Child Development, will address Muslim women in New Delhi on the occasion. The 12th edition of the Indo-Russia Joint Military Exercise Indira 21 will begin today at Volgograd in Russia. The 13-day mega air military exercise will entail the conduct of counter-terror operations mandated under the UN's framework of joint forces against international terror groups. 250 personnel from each side will participate in the 12th edition of the joint military exercise. Exercise Indira 21 will further strengthen mutual confidence and interoperability between India and Russian armies and enable sharing of best practice between the contingents of both the countries. The exercise will yet again be another milestone in strengthening security cooperation and will serve to reinforce the long-standing bond of friendship between India and Russia. In weather updates, heavy rains lashed parts of Delhi and the national capital region in the early hours of the day. In the midst of the monsoon season, the national capital has been receiving spells of rain. National Weather Forecasting Agency, the Indian Meteorological Department, that's IMD, has predicted thunderstorm with mighty to heavy intensity rainfall over Delhi and NCR. National capital Delhi is likely to experience generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. As the day proceeds, rainfall is still continuing in several parts of the city. Dense cloud cover can be seen over the capital. Showers kept the weather pleasant in the national capital for several days now. Well, update now from the Himachal Pradesh cloudburst. 178 people have been evacuated on Saturday from Lahaul Valley. The evacuated persons have been sent to their homes by road as helicopter could not take a flight due to inclement weather at Rohtang Pass. As many as 37 people are still stranded in Jalalama and other areas, and the government is planning to evacuate them as soon as possible. Meanwhile, with frequent spells of rains triggering landslides along the Chandigarh-Manali National Highway between Kulu and Mandi, both the Kulu and Mandi district administrations have ordered to keep the highway closed during night time till further orders. The Chandigarh-Manali highway was blocked near Pando in Mandi since Friday night. Given the dangerous conditions due to landslides, the administration has ordered to keep the highway closed for all types of vehicles in the night time. Vehicles plying on the route can be diverted via Kandi-Katola bypass road. The first goods train carrying stone chips to Bangladesh through the revived Haldibari-Chilahati rail link left in Northern Frontier Railway last night. The train will reach Bangladesh today. Haldibari-Chilahati route will provide a shorter route for transit of goods into Bangladesh from Assam, West Bengal, Nepal and Bhutan. The rail link will enhance rail network accessibility to the main ports, dry ports and land borders to support the growth in regional trade and to encourage economic and social development of the region. Economic activities of these South Asian countries will also be benefited from this new rail link. The Haldibarri-Chilahati rail link between India and East Pakistan was operational until 1965. However, the war of 1965 effectively cut off all the rail links between India and the then East Pakistan. The Haldibarri-Chilahati rail link was inaugurated on the 17th of December last year during the virtual bilateral summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister of Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina. However, due to the COVID pandemic, regular train services could not be started in the section since then. Let's now take a look at COVID-19 updates from across the world on how the world is braving or fighting this particular pandemic. The world continues its fight against COVID-19. So far, over 19 crore 85 lakh people have been infected by coronavirus. Recovery rate one looks at 17 crore 92 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19. Total deaths or fatalities across the world 42 lakh 33,000. United States continues to be the worst affected both in terms of infections as well as fatalities. In terms of infections, it's over 3 crore 57 lakh. In terms of fatalities, over 6 lakh 29,000 deaths being reported in the United States of America. Japan, meanwhile, reported another high daily record of 12,341 coronavirus cases today. The Japanese government has declared a state of emergency in 6 areas, including the capital city of Tokyo, which is host to the Olympic Games, after seeing a record spike in coronavirus cases. The emergency measures will be applicable until August 31st in Tokyo, Saitama, Chiba, Kanagawa, Osaka and Okinawa. Prefectures, Japanese government has requested the people to refrain from going out or traveling for non-essential, non-urgent reasons and to be as careful and restrained as possible while regarding returning to their hometowns during the summer and other travel. The government further announced that it will now focus on administering vaccines to people in the younger generation. Well, China reported on Saturday 55 new coronavirus cases in the mainland, with a majority of the infections in Jiangsu province. The data was on Friday, and 30 of the cases were local, up from 21 the previous day. The province's capital city of Nanjing is currently facing an outbreak of COVID-19 Delta variant that surfaced earlier this month, traced to airport cleaners who worked on a flight from Russia. The Nanjing outbreak has since spread to other cities in Jiangsu, Beijing and to other provinces including Anhui, Sichuan, Liaoning, Guangdong and Hunan. Suzhou, a major city of Jiangsu, also announced on Saturday that it is shutting all game parlors for chess, cards and mahjong after several people in another Jiangsu city caught the virus while playing in one such parlor. To curb the outbreak in Beijing, some schools in the city have asked their students to go on a summer vacation to return to Beijing at least 14 days before the autumn starts on August 15. The Beijing Youth Daily has reported all this on Sunday. Well, a surge in COVID-19 cases has been observed in the past few days from and around the world. The Olympic host city Tokyo, along with Thailand and Malaysia, have reported record COVID-19 infections on Saturday, mostly driven by the highly transmissible Delta variant of the disease. The surge in Delta variant cases is rattling parts of Asia previously relatively successful in containing COVID-19, such as Vietnam, which will on Monday impose strict curbs on movement in several cities and provinces. Tokyo's metropolitan government announced a record number of 4,058 infections in the past 24 hours. Olympic organizers reported 21 new COVID-19 cases related to the Games, bringing a total of 241 since July 1st. Well, New South Wales, Australia's most populous state, reported 210 locally acquired cases of COVID-19 on Saturday as police cordoned off downtown Sydney with multiple checkpoints to prevent a planned anti-lockdown protest. The city has been under week-long strict lockdown that is to last until the end of August while battling an outbreak of the highly infectious Delta variant. Cited numbers bring the outbreak to 3,190 cases. About 1,000 police officers have been deployed around Sydney to prevent an unauthorized demonstration against the lockdown, and police have been issuing prohibition notices to taxi and ride-share services, banning them from taking passengers to demonstrations. The protest last weekend, which numbered in several thousand, resulted in a series of arrests, clashes with the police, and made headlines throughout the world. Well, time now to head into another commercial break. Lots more lined up from Tokyo Olympics on the other side. Stay tuned.
Your window to rising India. India's voice on global platforms. Latest news from India and around the world. In-depth analysis of global headlines. Watch DD India in your country. Available for downlink in Middle East countries. STTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 17 at 93.5 degrees east. HDTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 10 at 83 degrees east. For technical details, scan here. Switch to DD India now.
Welcome back to News on the Hour. Now a look at updates from Tokyo Olympics. Well, starting first up with boxer Satish Kumar, who put up a valiant fight against Uzbekistan's Baghdador Zalolov, who was the reigning world and Asian champion, but fell short as he lost, or had a whitewash, losing that men's super heavyweight 91 plus kilogram category quarter final, where he was outclassed by the boxer 0-5. This was the 32-year-old's first Olympic outing, and he was also India's first ever entrant in the men's super heavyweight category. In badminton, after facing defeat against world number 1 in the semi-final, India's badminton player PV Sindhu will be up against a Chinese player He Bingjiao for the bronze medal match in women's singles today. The contest will be played in the evening as the 26-year-old aims to become the first female player to win a silver and bronze medal at the Olympics. Only wrestler Sushil Kumar has achieved it in his career at the Olympic Games in 2008 in Beijing and 2012 at London. In hockey, Team India will be aiming to reach their first Olympic semi-final after 41 years when they take on the field against Great Britain today evening. The men in blue made it past the group stage, having won 4 of their 5 group matches to set up a mouth-watering clash against their arch-rivals. With the Indian men's hockey team being one of the country's biggest medal hopes, there will be high expectations from Manpreet Singh and company to deliver the goods in Tokyo. Well, for more on the story, we've got Ashok Martolia, our correspondent, standing by to give us the latest from the Olympic Games. Ashok, good morning. Heartbreak for India in that boxing ring. Satish Kumar fought well, but then he was outpunched, outboxed by a better opponent.
Yes, Anil, Satish Kumar may have lost the bout, but he won the heart. The way he fought against a tough opponent, in spite of having a lot of bruises on his face, he suffered a deep cut in his chin and eyebrows, and there were several stitches on his face. But he tried to make every possible to make into the finals, semi-finals, but he could not do it. The Uzbeki boxers, Bakhadir Jalalov, he was too strong. Previous 2 matches he also defeated Satish Kumar. So that was also in Satish's mind. Maybe that Satish Kumar was in a little pressure because injury was there, and also he was up against a very tough opponent. But all in all, Satish Kumar fought very well. But it was the Bahadur Jalalo. He was too good, and he won the match.
Also, when you look at this particular outing, do you somewhere feel in that particular outing that Satish played, having that injury there, it showed a lot of grit, it showed a lot of determination, because, many didn't expect him to be there in the ring, or rather give a walkover to the opponent. The fact that he stood there and fought for 3 rounds clearly shows that, he lost the match, but then he did manage to win a lot of hearts with the determination that he showed there in Tokyo.
Yes, Anil, before going to Tokyo Olympic, like no one was talking about Satish Kumar, but the way he won his first bout, the first one was he got walkover, but his second bout he won convincingly against Jamaican boxers. But in the third, we were expecting some miracle from Satish Kumar, because Amit Pangal lost. He was a big medal hope. But Satish Kumar, the way he fought, he tried to make every possible. He was just try to throw the punch to Bahadur Jalalo, but his height and his reach was it was very difficult for Satish. But all in all, he played very well, and in time, I think in years to come, that we will see a great boxer, because India have never produced super heavyweight boxers in the history. So this time it's high time that we have a lot of boxers, and Satish Kumar proved that India can produce such boxers in the years to come.
Also looking at Sindhu's game today, later this evening, how do you look at Sindhu's opponent on a head-on-head record, and do you see a chance that Sindhu can pick herself up, from that thrashing that she has caught at the hand of Tai Tzu Ying? Do you feel it's easy for her to make a fresh start and make a match of it against this Chinese opponent?
Anil, I think if Sindhu wants to win today's match, so I think she will have to forget yesterday what happened with Tai Tzu Ying. Tai Tzu Ying she's world #1, and she is a very deceptive player. And Sindhu was a little, yesterday, if you have seen that match, she was nervous and under pressure. So today she will have to come up with a fresh mind and that kind of mindset. Previous record, yes, that goes against PV Sindhu, against Wen Jiabao, but today, Sindhu is like a big match player. She can bounce back anytime, and she knows that how to fight against because they have been played several times in the previous time. So I think today's match, Sindhu have to prove that the way the badminton player are emerging in India. We have seen a lot of badminton champions in India. So today's match is very important for Sindhu, and she managed to win today's match against Wen Jiabao, then she will become the first female athlete from India who will win the Olympic medal in 2 times in a row.
Okay. Also with regards to the men's hockey team, it's hoping against hope. They have shown a lot of courage the way they bounce back after the thrashing against Australia. Winning the next 3 matches there, but this particular outing, it's a do or die outing against Great Britain. How do you look at India's chances?
Anil, playing against, I don't think there is a much difficulty for Team India, because in the previous round we have also defeated Great Britain several times in a previous encounter. So this time I think the India team, the way the India team is playing, yes, we lost against Australia with heavy margin, but the other the matches we played very well, and I think against the Great Britain is not a very tough opponent. We defeated them in the Great Britain also in their home turf. So I think today's we have a good chance that after 41 years we'll enter into the semi-final. If that makes happen, I think this will be a huge relief for hockey teams and hockey fans. Hockey is like a passion in India. Everyone follows hockey. We have a great history. We won 8 gold medals in hockey Olympics. So this time, if the hockey team, the Indian men's hockey team, if they make to the semi-final, I think it would be like a medal for Team India.
Okay, considering the fact that Indian forward line lacks that experience, against that Great Britain defense, that's like That's like the Great Wall of China, if one puts it, in terms of, defensive tactical supremacy. Does that make this particular game, an outing of, the team that holds its nerves well, while having the last laugh?
Yes, the problem with Indian team is that whenever they concede 1 or 2 goals, then they become they came in a back foot. So I think they have improved a lot. They know how to convert the penalty corner, and the second thing, their defense is very good. We have a quite good players in defense like Lalit Upadhyay, a lot of other players. We have a good goalkeeper, Srijesh. He played 3-time Olympics, and Indian team is heavily rely upon him. So I think in the time that the way Indian team is playing the hockey team, I think this is a good chance for a hockey team and Manpreet Singh especially to prove that they can defeat any any team in the world.
Okay, also looking at the hockey outing, Harmanpreet Singh is your go-to striker when it comes to penalty corners. But do you see a possibility of this particular game where, the inexperience of Indian forwards will be exploited by the Great Britain team?
Well, Anil, if we talk about the caliber and the ability of the players, then they are similar. There is nothing like that the player is good or bad.
Okay.
It's all, I think, depend upon the temperament, how they play in the particular day. So that will be, I think that will be very, that will definitely affect the Indian team. If they play with the right mindset, with the right attitude, I think there will be no problem with Indian team playing against Great Britain, because we have defeated them in the previous occasions.
Okay, and also going by the rankings between the two sides, do you still, going by the rankings that one sees, India is number 3, Great Britain number 6, does that make this contest, a match of equals, or would you say that, in a knockout phase, you got to be careful, India generally somewhere, half puff and lose the plot in the knockout stage. So it's a game that India needs to be cautious, or India start as favorites?
Anil, the ranking, I don't think in such a big level ranking matters, but yes, they are kind of, mental, they will have a psychological benefit that against their opponent, that India is ranked better than the Great Britain. But again, that all depends upon how you play on that particular day. Great Britain is, I think we would have, if we had played against like Germany and Netherlands, it would be very difficult for us, because our record against these players like Germany and Netherlands is very not good. Like Belgium is world number 1. But against the Great Britain, our record is very good, and I am hopeful that Team India will definitely win today and make for the semi-finals.
Okay, your smile says it all. You are confident in backing Team India. Do not forget to keep that backing going on. Use that hashtag cheer for India. Keep that cheer going for Team India as they take the hockey field today at around 5:30. Appreciate you joining us, Ashok Martolia, giving us an insight into day 8 at the Summer Games in Tokyo. So it's going to be an interesting contest there, especially when it comes to the Indian hockey team in the fray in action later this evening. Also, PV Sindhu out on the badminton courts for her bronze medal match. So 2 games that are going to be exciting, but do not forget to keep encouraging those players there in the middle. Remember, they have not won medals, but they are the best in a billion that we have. So they are there in the middle, and we need to keep that cheer going on for them. Do not forget to use the hashtag cheer for India. Send your messages, send your well wishes. The players would be informed, the players would come to know about it, and it would do them a world of good when they know that billions of Indians are cheering for them as they take the court, as they take the hockey field today for that big outing on Super Sunday. Well, that's all we have in this edition of News on the Hour. But before we leave, we take you to Brazil, where we leave you with an image of the day, where Portuguese Language Museum reopened in Sao Paulo over the weekend, celebrating the rich diversity and history of more than 250 million Portuguese speakers. Take a look, enjoy, have a safe and wonderful Sunday ahead, enjoying sports, having fun.